going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. And once again, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Geoff. And I was just in the back talking to our guest coming up. So as always, I really encourage you, hey, I know you're just stopping in or you're checking out the recording. I really encourage you to find some time to get the whole message from our guest. This man is a phenomenal guy. I've known him for a couple of years now, maybe. I don't know. The time is moving so quickly, and just a powerhouse, pure guy that has really got some great things to share around the health world, right? And so I encourage you all to make sure you lock it down, set some time. If you can't catch the full thing, go back and get the recording, because he's helped me in my journey in health. And you guys know about where I'm at. He's helped other people, and he's getting ready to help a whole lot more with his magic, right? So welcome again to Conversations with Geoff. For those of you that are new to the show, we welcome you with open arms, right? And those of you that have been following us along, thank you so much. And you know the drill. You know, we ask you to come in, let us know where you are, tell us your name, say, hey, I love this. Let us know how this show is helping you in any way that it is. And more importantly, show our guests some love. You know, they're going to leave their contact information, because I know you're going to want to get a hold of them for different things. So please set this thing up so it hits it all the time. You're sharing this information. All right, because it's important. And just another commercial side of things. You know, we are getting ready to unveil our affiliate coming up here in the first quarter of 2024. Man, that's crazy. So if you're still thinking about attaching yourself to what we believe is a place of peace and calmness and unity, Conversations with Geoff, get a hold of me. My information is in the chat. And let's get busy, getting busy, right? Let's change lives and change the way we're thinking. Let me go over here and get this thing set up. So I'm doing that. All right. So listen, let me just tell you that, man, I got to sidestep for just a second and thank my wife and for setting up. We went to this past weekend. We had an opportunity to do our fourth marriage retreat, and the second year with our daughter and her husband joining us here in Houston. Man, it was phenomenal. So fellas, I would encourage you to find the time. If your spouse is talking to you, or ladies, if your spouse is talking to you about something like this, I encourage you to find the time to make it happen. There's so many things that we got out of this weekend, and I'm going to I think I'll have a little session around some of the things around vulnerability, honesty, and communication, right? And the humbleness and the gifts of all of that stuff. It was just phenomenal, man. I grabbed speakers. So thank you, my dear wife, Stacy, for helping put that together and making it happen. It was hosted by the Lakewood Church here in Houston, right? So, man, I got a couple of notes here because I want to get to our guest as quickly as I can. But I do, as always, want to ask a couple questions, right? First one is, how was your thinking this morning when you got out of bed? What was the first thought you had on your mind before you even got out of bed? How were you feeling when you laid down the night before? I mean, I asked those three questions because they're relevant to how your day is going to go or how your day ended. And the nice thing about it is that these tools we talk about, right, becoming aware of, right, just thinking and being conscious of it, not just aware, but being conscious of it, right? And then we talk a lot about putting the pause button on it, right, and being deliberate, not just pausing. I mean, I'll become deliberate and making a difference in the way you think. And the outcomes will change. I'll tell you something. Being conscious, being deliberate when you make the pause, and then be determined. It's going to take some determination, baby. Be determined to replace the thoughts, the statements, the surrounding noise that you have, that chatter, the things that are happening in the world. I know you want to stay into them, but the things that you cannot control that set the tone for your day, man. Right? I mean, those things you got to decide on for yourself, right? So I have notes here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And most importantly, hang in here for one more second, because I have a question I want to ask you. But before I do that, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Geoff Tyson. I'm known as the Comeback King. I got that name from people that have seen me go through my journeys, ups and downs, from an athlete that lost his dream to a corporate guy that, had the dressed up garbage can image and all that, surrendered all that life and, found a new way to live and began a whole nother journey almost 30 years ago, right? And has helped hundreds of other people with this subject that we're talking about, helping them become aware of the things that are going on in their lives, taking responsibility for the change and going back. Gotta go back, figure out what's going on, right? And so today, I want to ask another question, two questions. Let me make sure I find out where it is. Have you adapted to a limited environment? that's not always a bad thing when you think about that. And let me give you an example of what I mean. Your life is comfortable. You're equal to your friends. You're about where your parents were, and life is kind of good, right? But you know inside that there's that management position that you're looking for, or that corporate promotion, the VP position you're looking for, or there's a book inside you, or you want to start this journey into something that's photography, things that you really don't see how you can make money on, but it's in there with you, right? And that level is keeping you there. It's haunting you. What do you think's holding you back? What's keeping you from reaching your potential? I already know. You already know. It's what the message that you're telling yourself about yourself. It's those past experiences, those past failures that are holding you back, right? Or it's the message that you get from your environment. Maybe you come up from you've done well. You come from a family of addiction, dysfunction. Or, you made a bunch of different mistakes on your own. All that stuff kind of compiles itself and it holds you back. Right? That's the brake that you put on your life, right? I want to tell you, you don't have to stay there, right? I mean, the whole thing, the power is in the comeback, embracing the message in your mess. Because we're going to face the comeback, whether you are focusing on doing it to change your life or life in general, right? There's going to be some things that are thrown at you. They're going to make you trip up. They're going to make you step. You're going to have all kinds of problems like that just because that's how life goes. But when you step into it, say, I want to change. I want to take responsibility. I want to do something different. Get ready, baby. Right? And this gentleman is going to talk to us here in a few minutes. He's going to tell you what he did and how he did it. But his message is around health. So I say to you, as I wrap this thing up, the power is in the comeback. Recondition your mind. Check this out. For I'm about to do something new. See, I'm going to read this from the chat. I've already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create the rivers and dry wasteland. This is Isaiah 43:13. And listen, this is a space where anybody's welcome, and wherever your beliefs are, wherever your message is, I believe this applies whether you are a Christian or whoever you believe in, whatever that is. And the thing is that recondition your mind is necessary, right? And he was telling people, hey, look, this is some stuff that you're going to have faith in. And I'm telling you that the stinking thinking, this can be a gift for you because the message and overcoming that. All right? So you know what to say. I'm going to stop my stinking thinking. I'm going to do it right now. I can, I will, and I must. Thank you, Geoff, for helping me get this thing done. All right. So anyway, let me just tell you that our guest coming up, he's a good friend of mine. He's a man and a father and just does tremendous things. He's an author, an educator, a speaker, an ex-athlete, tennis, and all these things. And his business, Freedom Land, is an education company specializing in great wisdom about life and life's journeys to health, heart health, freedom, greatness, and happiness. We help people to have the freedom to live their healthiest and happiest life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to Conversations with Geoff, my friend from Canada, baby, Peter Wainberg. Let's see. All right.
Hello from Montreal. Hello from snowy Montreal.
Oh, man. Don't say that word. Well, welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time out, your busy schedule, to give us a few minutes of your expertise, man. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. So I know you've been wanting to show up. So why don't we just start by showing people what you got on today, and then we'll kind of go from there, Peter.
Well, let's start off with, this is my message of hope. I think when I tell my story, I was never on the journey of my life, and I wanted people to know that they got to get on the journey of their life. And I say life is short, so just let the journey begin. That's it.
Yeah, I love that.
The question is, we all have this stinking thinking, and we don't really know what the journey of life is. So I think my mess in my life, not knowing who I was and why I was born and what my purpose was, my mess has turned into my message. And I'm honored really here to share this with you today.
We're glad to have you here, man. And thank you so much, because I know some of your journey, and I can feel it, and I've heard it. But I'd love for you to kind of, Steph saying hi. We appreciate Steph for being here. And so you talked about, sometimes we talk about our life being messy from the very beginning, but I think you were talking about yours from more of an adult, more recent. And for those of us out there that are in that space, and finding them. So tell me how that was and how you got to be who you are now, man, that guy.
Well, we can say as an adult, as a young adult, I graduated as an accountant, didn't like that, went into the family printing and ink business. I never really liked that, and always ran away to sports and higher education. And so I was always confused about who I am and what my life's purpose is. And so I was really messed up. And it actually took me to hit some really deep lows in my life. In 2009, I had a concussion playing hockey. I couldn't work. I hired somebody to run my business. They ran it into the ground. And September 12th, 2012 was the worst and best day of my life because I got the chance to get out of something I never really liked. And I got the chance to start the journey of the life that I really wanted, but I had no idea what that was. And so my biggest frustration, Geoff, is that the school system didn't really prepare me for adulthood. What did I really know about health, wealth, relationships, communication, goal setting? And I haven't really met anybody who actually knows much about those subjects. So it's like we graduate from school and we're thrown out into the forest with all of these wild animals, and you gotta go and figure all of this out on your own. Now, let me tell you something. I have been lost and confused for so many decades, and it's taken several awakenings and epiphanies. And so my frustration has turned into my message. And so I didn't understand life. So now I become a life coach in 2013. In 2013, I remember I had created this company called Freedom Land. In fact, I was actually going to see a psychologist at the time, and he said, "You should do a personal mission statement." I said, "All right, well, what do I do?" And he says, "Well, you go figure it out on your own." So I said, "All right." I Googled personal mission statement, and I found Franklin Covey, and question number 7 changed my life.
Wow, baby.
Question number 7 is, this is going to help you with your life. If you have a mess and you want to start your journey to your message, this is the question that changed everything for me. What is it you would do in your life if you had all the time and the money in the world to serve humanity and or the planet?
Man,
I was in my young 50s at that time. Now it's like this word education was like sitting on the tip of my tongue. And the word push, education, came right out of my mouth because I was a tennis instructor when I was a teenager. What were you doing as a kid that you were passionate about that you could be doing as an adult? And so all I really wanted to do was teach somebody something. And I didn't really like accounting because it was too dry for me. And I didn't want to audit numbers that were already done. I wanted to create something.
Yes.
And the printing ink business, I hated, science. I hated chemistry. To be honest with you, I hated managing people and dealing with customers, everybody complaining. I just wanted to do my own thing. I did create a color theory course, and I started teaching that. Yeah. So my passion is really about this thing called, life. And so what did I discover about myself by answering that one question? It was this word education. It was kind of like a syringe. With this word education, it just syringed right into my brain. I was confused. Imagine, my business had gone bankrupt. I was depressed. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And this one word, and it literally dissipated all of the negativity. Now, for somebody like me who goes to bed late at night and sleeps in, I was up, this was July of 2013. I was up at 5 a.m. riding my bike. Now, that's completely unlike me. And I said, well, what's going on with me? Well, when you can answer that question, you're actually going to find out, start discovering who you are and why you were born. And I actually tapped into all my chakras. My chakras were illuminated, like they were on fire. I said, wow, I'm going to teach somebody something. And I said, but what can I teach them? I don't know. I said, I think I'm going to teach people about their freedom because I want my freedom.
Yeah.
My message of hope, but I don't even know what it is. And so I eventually went out and created this company called Freedom Land. And I can tell you how I came up with this name. It's life-changing. So after 10 years in a CEO group, as I look back and I look at the world and I say, well, what's the cause of all the world's problems? Now let's think about this. Why is the world so messed up? And it came to me. It took me a long time to figure this out. I got to tell you that. I'm going to give you the answer here in a couple seconds. It's communication. It's communication. People don't know how to talk to other people, but where life begins, we don't know how to talk to ourselves. Then I think to myself, what's the root cause of all the world's problems? Now, this is really high-level thinking. It came to me. It's education.
Yeah.
And so Freedom Land is a place to go to get educated about how to communicate with yourself about your life, and your life's journey. And then on my journey, I actually Googled about goal setting, and I learned from, Google. Google told me many years ago that 97% of people don't set goals, and I'm one of those 97%. So I can contribute to a better world if I can help people with their goals, right? So we have essentially life's highest and most important goal is our freedom. We have our health and our wealth freedom. Now let's take 60,000 thoughts we're processing per day, 98% useless, 85% negative, 80% repetitive. Now let's move them up into the top, into that 2% space, and let's go up into the top of the 2% space. If you could take 60,000 thoughts and move them into one thought, in fact, the greatest speaker in our CEO group, a guy named Steve Snyder, he said, the human mind in its normal state can only do this. One thing. Because if we're doing this, two things, he called that stress. And I said to myself, what's the one thing we could be doing? What's that one thing that could change everything? Hey, it's on my shirt. I think if we went out and we achieved our freedom, that's our health and our wealth freedom. So I started out on my financial freedom. I wrote a book called Stock Market Financial Freedom Secrets. I have a passion for the stock market. How to sell passive income options to the gamblers. The biggest casino in the world is the stock options market. Hey, you get the chance to be the house. But then in 2016, I discovered I was born with heart disease. I had a little bit of pressure on my chest. And this story has led me into heart health freedom or health freedom. So I kind of had the financial freedom, and then I'm kind of moving into the health freedom, which I believe, I say at the outset of this conversation, our health freedom is the foundation of everything we do. It's our life. What are we without our health, right? It's your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health. We're nothing. And so, we are born, this is an important thing, we are born with our health freedom, but not our financial freedom. And the school system leads us into education to learn about something that we can earn some money. And then we go on this road of life, taking our health for granted, right?
That's right.
And you and I know, Geoff, we cannot take our health for granted anymore, right? So,
yes, sir.
For the last 7 years, I've had open heart surgery. I've had 7 bouts of gout and elective prostate surgery that didn't go well. And I can tell you that the healthcare system, the Medicare system, is a complete mess. And we are a mess because we are not trained from the school system about all of these things: health, wealth, relationships, communication, goal setting. So my passion, if I could teach you how to talk to yourself about your life and your life's journey and get on that journey to your freedom, your health freedom and your financial freedom. So 7 years ago, I was at the emergency of the Montreal Heart Institute with some pressure on my chest. And I looked at my father and I said, Dad, what could it be? I'm 57. I'm a multi-sport athlete. I'm in great shape. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Nothing's ever going to happen to me, right?
Wrong.
The doctors told me,
yes,
we have good news and bad news, Mr. Wainberg. The good news is you're not going to have a heart attack anytime soon, but you have severe aortic valve stenosis, which I had no idea what that was. You have, you need urgent major surgery. You are at the highest risk of having a heart attack, and you are lucky to be alive, literally. And so I said,
and you were an athlete too, right? In condition.
I'm a multi-sport athlete.
All these things. So there's a point to that. But before I just want to slide one thing in here, because you said something way back, and the message I love the way you talk about finding the purpose and helping people do that and managing their thinking, because the thinking is what holds everybody back. But I want to get back to what you were talking about. But you said your chakras were lit up. I can see the light. I understand the power of recognizing who we were meant to be and then stepping into that. So congratulations, my friend. And I've seen that, go on and on and on with you in our relationship as we've talked about health and everything else. So I wanted to say that because, we could let you just share it. We hadn't even got to, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to all of what you have, most of what you have. So people are going to want to make sure you get a hold of Peter when this is all over with, because he has really got some really interesting thoughts about that. So you were going to talk to us about being in the hospital. Let's go back to where you were and finding out all this bad news, and then take it from there, man. Spend a couple of minutes telling people how you ended up where you are with that shirt on you right now, my friend.
Well, listen, there are a lot of stories when there's stories, but I think that the greatest story was I was watching the movie The Bucket List, while I was waiting for my heart surgery. And I said to myself, I don't have any hopes or dreams. I said, I just want to survive. I just want to be alive. I want to like get through this surgery and get back to my life. I said, but if I did have a dream, I would represent my country in the Maccabiah Games in Israel. That's the Jewish Olympics. That's the world's third largest event behind the FIFA soccer and the World Olympics. It's 10,000 athletes from 90 countries. I said, wow, that would be a dream. And I ended up, of course, surviving my surgery. 9 months after surgery, I hired a trainer, which I wanted to do my whole life. And I trained. I ended up playing in the games. We're talk about the highs and lows in your life. It was a 2-week event. I landed in Israel with COVID. I was prevented from playing in the first week of tennis and singles. I started playing singles. I was rushed to the hospital with some chest pain. I thought my whole game was over. They released me from the hospital. I went on to win a bronze medal. And the moral of this story is, the only way you can live a life of your dreams if you actually get on the journey to your health freedom. Think about that. Yeah. Without your health, you're going to lead a life of loneliness and depression, anxiety, stress, and even maybe suicidal. So if you make this investment into your health, and as a result of my heart surgery, I've actually gone on to discover that all of my pain and suffering was preventable. Open heart surgery, 7 bouts of gout, and elective prostate surgery was all preventable through mindset changes and lifestyle changes. And so I, am excited to announce that I have worked on the last year and a half an education program of how to communicate with yourself about your life and your life's journey to your heart. So to your heart health. And so I think life's greatest journey is from the head to the heart. It's all about discovering love for yourself. And the greatest way to love yourself is to achieve your heart health. That's the conduit to literally your total health. And so I can share in the course, I'm teaching a secret heart health formula, which is heart health mindset to get rid of that stinking thinking, plus heart health lifestyle, which is nutrition, exercise, and supplements. And here's the I got to share this. The biggest shift I had in the last 7 years, Geoff, was I go into the hospital and I'm a fit 57-year-old athlete. I never needed the medical system. And I came to realize that the Medicare system is really for disease care. And when you ask a doctor, how do you prevent, disease? They just don't know and they're not trained. So how is it that I am able to teach about heart health, which is essentially, coronary heart disease is the number one killer of humans, and it's a buildup of plaque and inflammation in your arteries. So my course is just reversing plaque and inflammation in your arteries. Everything is complicated and difficult if we don't know, but everything in life is so damn easy if we know, right?
Yes, that's it. So
just spend time with conversations with Geoff and learn some of the great secrets of life. And the stinking thinking is becoming, much cleaner thinking. And that's all we really need is if we can appreciate that. I'm getting all choked up here talking to you. Hang on.
And while you're doing that, I want to say hi to Keisha and Steph for showing up here, and those that will hear this later on. And Peter, I want to make sure that you, man, you're gonna have to come back. That's all I can say, and come back with maybe some things that that can really people can take away from when you talk about healthy heart, and living like that, so that they can really understand that it's not some big grandiose thing that they have to do in order to have to live a better life.
Right. I wanted to share, Geoff, 2 secrets that I learned along my journey, the secrets of life.
Yes, sir.
So these are game changers for everybody. The secret of life is awakening.
Mm.
The secret to life is knowing and being yourself.
Mm.
And a lot of people are looking for their life on the outside when they should just be looking in the mirror to discover who they are and why they were born. And this is a gift from Dr. Mark Hyman, who taught me we are all born with 20,000 genes. 99% of our genes are all alike, but 1% are unique to you, Geoff. 1% are unique to me. 1% are unique to everybody listening and watching. So 1%, I'm going to take my accounting skills, 1% of 20,000. You have 200 unique genes, Geoff.
Yes, sir.
And I have everybody has 200 unique genes that nobody else has on planet Earth. In 8 billion people, you have magic inside of you that you can do something that nobody else. So for somebody who's listening, who's depressed, who's upset, who's confused, the journey of Freedom Line is all about clarity, certainty, and confidence about yourself and your life's journey. So answer this question. What is it you would do if you had all the time and the money in the world to serve humanity and to the planet? And go on this journey of what I call discovery, adventure, and growth. Discover who you are. Discover why you were born. Go out and start making a list, a journal of what you're really good at. Not what you're good at, what you're amazing at. I was an incredible tennis instructor when I was a teenager. I ran a tennis camp. Today, at the age of 64, I could teach somebody how to play tennis in 5 minutes. And if you're uncoordinated and spasticated, I need another 2 or 3 minutes. And now as an adult, I was kind of looking for something bigger and better to teach. And now I'm teaching about life, which was my mess, is now become my message, and teaching people about heart health, which they are not paying attention to. And I'm going to say this. Heart disease is nothing more than a toothless tiger, and it need not be. Heart disease is completely reversible. That's the greatest secret of our generation. And if the secret of life is to awaken, if you awaken to yourself and stop living your life from your mind and start living your life on a soul base, which is you get a chance to discover who you are and why you were born, and you start living this beautiful thing called life, which is now you're on this incredible journey of discovering your 200 gifts and talents, and everything changes. And so I'm into transformational education, transformational coaching, transformational teachers. How could 1 or 2 words literally change everything? And that's why I named my company Freedom Line, because I think freedom is the word that we all want. It's what we really want, and that could really change everything if you could start releasing all of these negative, repetitive, useless thoughts that don't help you on your journey to your freedom and your happiness. And when you find your health, when you find your happiness, you can now give more in a relationship. So this is really amazing. And so, it's been a lot of pain and suffering because nobody taught me any of this stuff. I had to read hundreds of books and try to put all the pieces of the puzzle together of life. And so,
well, I can attest to all your reading and the information that you have shared with me around health and some of the other things around mindset to be phenomenal. And so I strongly encourage, as we wind this up, Peter, man, I really, I got pages full of notes already here. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. And for those of you that hear the recording, please make sure you do the same thing and reach out to them. So how do people get a hold of you, and what do you got going on coming up here soon?
Well, we are November the 14th we are launching Heart Health Mastery, relaunching it after a year of rebranding. So it's going to be starting, it's an 8-week program starting Sunday, November the 19th. We're not going to be going through the holidays. We're going to be off for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. But it's an 8-week transformational program to help you to significantly reduce the risk of a heart disease, a heart attack, and a stroke. Which I can tell you, I'm really sad to say this, that the biggest problem with our health is plaque buildup in our arteries, which restricts blood flow, oxygen, and nutrition. I am sorry to say this, but I read this. Google taught me this. Heart disease is plaque buildup in your arteries, and the plaque is literally coming from an animal-based diet. So I converted 4 years ago to a heart-healthy, plant-based diet. It has literally changed everything for me. And so I have 6 weeks of education and 2 weeks going on a 2-week challenge to literally normalize your blood cholesterol and get your life back. And I know you and I talked about this. Listen, the biggest shift is to realize that the hospitals are there to help us for disease care. Doctors do not know. They're not trained. I love doctors, but I hate them because they can't really help us with what we want. I love them because if we need them, we need them. And I think they generally want to help us, but the system is broken. The system doesn't help us with healthcare. And the new healthcare, Geoff, I know we're going to put a big smile on your face. The new healthcare is self-care. And so I am the student who's passionate about teaching and coaching people. And I'm teaching you stuff from CEO school, the heart health mindset, plus the heart health lifestyle, the things that I've learned from the forefathers of lifestyle medicine that literally started in the 70s. And it's been around for 4 decades.
Yes.
There's all kinds of information and nobody's paying attention to it. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Colin T. Campbell. I am the student of their work. And now I'm the reporter. I'm reporting on my success.
That's the beautiful thing about our show is that you have the data that people need and can use, Peter. I mean, and you can verify it if you want to. Yeah, Keisha, you're right. The system is broken, just like Peter said. And we have a responsibility at Conversations with Geoff to bring people in here like you who are passionate about and experienced the change. It's one thing for you to talk about all this noise that people think it's noise, really, but it's really, really, really good information, right? People say it's noise because it touches the nerve most of the time. They don't want to hear it, right? They have to make some changes. So, but you have lived it, right? And that to me is what people need to see and people need to hear.
Right. I wanted to share the miracle of my life. So this is on my website. The Freedom Land website is under construction, but my heart website is myhearthandbook.com or letsbeatheartdisease.com. And I share my story on there and the miracle of my life. 3 months after my valve surgery, rehab began with a blood test, and I got reminded how bad my cholesterol was. And so for 2 years following my surgery, I met with over a dozen doctors, dietitians, and nutritionists, begging them, pleading with me, please help me to lower my cholesterol. You see, I had this valve problem and I don't want to die. I want my freedom. I want my life. I said, can you help me to lower my cholesterol? Would you believe it? Yeah. They couldn't help me. Nutritionists and dietitians will admit they don't know anything about heart health nutrition. I said, there's a huge hole here in humanity. We need to be educated about life and life's journey to heart health, freedom, and happiness. So I found Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. My LDL, it went from 120 to 40 in 16 days. And I posted my results. Now, on my website, you have the Canadian metric system. It went from 3.07 to 1.07. And the upper limit on the Canadian metric system is 3. I could never get my cholesterol below 3. I went from the high 3s to the low 3s. But can you imagine my LDL, my bad cholesterol, the key indicator of heart disease, went from 3 to 1 in 16 days. And no doctor, no dietitian, no nutritionist could help me. And so this world is, we need help out there. Yeah. And so look, people could also reach me by email at info@freedomland.com.
Info@freedomland.com. Please just put some information in there. So info@freedomland.com.
And it is my absolute passion and pleasure and honor to be here and help people with clarity, certainty, and confidence, helping you to reconcile stuff in your mind. And if you can just process fewer thoughts, I think you can get rid of that stinking thinking. And if I had one word to change the world, I would move 60,000 thoughts into one word, which is our freedom. That has literally changed everything for me. I have, the greatest and most successful people in the world are not focused, Geoff. They're laser focused. So I'm going to challenge everybody. Could you share this message with your friends and family and your colleagues and saying, I'm going to live a life of laser focus on my freedom, my health freedom to begin with, my financial freedom, and I'm going to become unstoppable in this journey. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of places you can go to get the mindset training and the heart health training, the lifestyle training, all in one place. And I'm of course throwing in my Maccabea exercises. That you need the nutrition, you need the exercise, the supplements, and what one of my heroes, the creator of nitric oxide, Dr. Louis Ignarro, he said, everything in life, if you really want your health, you have to do things synergistically. You can't just pop a vitamin. You can't just go to the gym once in a while. You've got to do all of this stuff. You got to have the nutrition, the exercise, and the supplements, and you have to be in the right mindset. And so Tony Robbins says we could change our state like that. I remember seeing him live. So I'm hoping we can all change our state like this. So I say just like
tell us the story before we get you out of here, man.
Let the journey begin. What are you waiting for? How much pain and suffering do you want to have? Make that choice.
I love it, man. And listen to me, my friend. I want to thank you for all that you've done before the show. And I'm really looking forward to some things that we can continue to do to bring to the audience, to bring people awareness of the fact that it's possible. And they can do it, and they don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. They can find some ways to do it right now, like you said, at the snap of a fingertip. So
Stephen Covey says the greatest gift we have is the freedom of choice.
Yes.
All you have to do is make a choice.
Make a choice.
Guess what your choice is? I want my freedom. Let's make the choice. That's it. I want my freedom. My message of hope.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Become unstoppable. That's all I can say. And the magic that's going to happen when you go on this journey of discovering who you are and why you were born, it's the greatest. I've been on the greatest journey of my life in the last 10 years. And I can tell you, no day is alike. No minute is alike. Every day is enriching. It's fulfilling, and it's happiness. And even my wife says to me, Peter, you're not well. You're just too happy. You should go to the doctor. I said, honey, that's called passion and purpose.
Yes, sir.
When you live with passion and purpose.
Yes, sir.
It's just the best feeling in the world. When you can help yourself and then position yourself to help others.
Yeah.
There's no greater feeling. And as the Dalai Lama says, the purpose of life is to seek happiness. Yeah. Right. And so that's what we really need to do. And I say, if you get on the journey to your freedom, man, there's nothing better than that. You're going to find your happiness, right?
That's it, man. I love this. So finding your purpose is all part of our stuff, man. So this has been fantastic. I know we're way over. I encourage people, go back and listen to everything. I don't care how much time you think you don't have. You need to go back and do this, and then reach out to Peter, because he's got some information. And if you can't get what you need from him or can't reach him, get back in touch with me. So Peter, listen, man, thank you, my brother. You take care of yourself, and job well done.
Geoff. Been a great honor. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Can't wait to have you back and drop some real detailed stuff. I mean, you got to tease us now. We want to know how. So how about we think about how we
All right.
back?
I'm ready to share.
All right, brother. I love it. Brother.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. All right. Bye-bye. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, listen, I mean, I told you guys, I always, and the mind, listen to me. I can't even talk, right? Because it's so true what he's talking about. I tell people with Stephen Covey and all those things that he mentioned, man, I mean, those are real things. He talks about passion and purpose. And did you hear him? Did you see him when he talked about when he realized at that moment the word education, his whole body changed, right? I mean, he explained it. If you're not familiar with what chakras mean and all that behind that, I encourage you to go check it out, because our bodies are made of energy, and different parts of our bodies resonate in different ways. So I would encourage you to go check that out. Please, please, please reach out to Peter. And I tell you, he's got some really simple things that we can do right now, man, to really begin to change that journey. Most importantly, find our purpose. And the mess is, the magic is in the mess. So the mess is important. Stay in a state of challenge. Stay in a state of moving forward. Stay in the state of discomfort. And you too will be just like our guest who was here today. You too will have finally found understanding the power in the stinking thinking. The gift is in overcoming that stuff by never giving up. Right. So please, please, please check out the chat. My information is in there. Peter's information is in there. We are really moving towards a community that people are ready to go. Raise your hand. Say, hey, Geoff, I'm ready to go. I need some direction. I need some help. I encourage you to reach out to me. Hey, Geoff, I need to get in touch with Peter about healthcare and maybe bring him on to help your organizations, right? Because healthier people on the job are going to get better results on the job, which goes to the bottom line, baby. Mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and financial health. So, hey, thank you all for showing up. And remember, there's no better time than now to master that stinking thinking through the healthy mindset, like my friend has just told us. And you too can find your purpose and glow like he did. See you on the next episode of Conversations with Geoff. Reach out to me. Please do that. Stay tuned for the next episode. See you later.